Hi. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to this random ass stream in the middle of the night. Ah! Ah! It's all tiny things. It's just like... the problem is, when you have ADHD, the tiniest thing can throw your entire day off, right? Because, like, I have a lot of methods by which I get my day organized, and I get my day done, and I get everything in order. But whenever something like a wrench gets thrown into the plans, it's not chaos. I get it. It's totally small and innocuous. But, like, just when I get something thrown in the mix that's as stupid as a leg cramping up, it's suddenly my whole day is thrown off. And, like, I had planned this morning to get all this shit done. And the problem is, like, once I get in a rhythm of doing something, I can do it for a long time. Like, I've got methods by which to do that. And unfortunately, I was gonna get in the mode this morning, and then I had a million things that I forgot about because I have a million things that I forget about, and it's just like, you know. Yeah, but it's been getting tougher just because, number one, like, I've been taking the same ADHD medication for so long that my leg's good. My foot! Oh my god, I haven't even said... My foot! I'm out of the boot! This is my broken foot, but you can barely tell because, I'm walking on it again, so I'm out of the boot. It's still feeling funky, but... Speaking of ADHD, here's my foot. Yeah. No, it's doing better. It's, no more boot, so it's healing up. So that is good. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I've been taking the same ADHD medication for so long. Like, I've taken Adderall XR for, like, a long time. I got started out with that when I was diagnosed when I was 20. And so, like, it's been over 10 years that I've been on the same medication, so... I imagine, especially like this past year, and I don't know if it's like coincided with quarantine, that like it's been so difficult to get on a routine, and then my foot broke, and then, you know, my leg is yelling at me and shit like that, but I'm out of the boot, and so I feel like it's just starting to get less effective over time, but it's not a huge deal, because like This is all just part of the process. I can see the end of the road. I can see, I've built a tolerance to it. Like, if you take the same medication for like 10 years, like, tolerance is definitely a thing. Like, you get used to the same thing. But I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, I imagine that's the issue. The only thing is, like, I don't want to take more Adderall, because at a certain point, you know, if you just take more and more and more, it's a never-ending cycle. So that's fine, don't worry, I'll talk to a doctor about it. There's a new medication coming out soon that I'm looking forward to, called Astaris. It seems like it's gonna actually be better for me. So I like, there's options on the horizon for things that I'm gonna address that. I don't want anyone worrying like, oh, micromanage all the... Yes. You don't think I've said to myself, come on, just go right, man, just go right. Look, this is what it's like having ADHD, man. This is what it's like. I literally was looking at my computer the other day, and I was like, look, it's right there. All I gotta do is sit down there. Tip, tap, tip, tap, tip, tap, tip. And it's like a wall. You know, it's just like anything in my brain is like, or we don't do that. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, I can usually, oh, what did I do? I know. Oh god, I know. Trust me, I do know. It is like, it's all part of the reality of like I was diagnosed with ADHD way late, but I think I always knew, because I do love working when I'm working on something that I'm interested in. That's just the way it goes, you know, like, people have ADHD in different ways, but for me, it's always been like, something will captivate me. Something will captivate me for a very, like, 3-week window is usually like the time period that things captivate me. And then I will obsess about it, and I will obsess about that thing, and everything else kind of gets lost in the wash. Organization has never been my strong suit. Yeah, I get hyperfixated a lot. It's been good, you know, like, it's just part of who I am. You know, I never like it when people are like, oh, like I was the Philip DeFranco, he had a podcast that I was on, and I talked about a lot of these things that I struggle with, and everyone's like, oh my God, he has ADHD, he doesn't know. And it's like, no, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm very aware of it. Yeah, but it's fine. How do I deal with hyperfixation? Hey, look, if I knew how to do that, if I knew, I would tell you. I mean, it comes down to a lot of different things, you know. Not everything can be fixed by medication. The medication helps, but a lot of it comes down to willpower and habits, right? And right now, the problem was when I broke my foot, it ruined a lot of habits. And it changed up my entire routine, right? Because suddenly my foot was broken. So for a full week, I was like on my ass doing nothing because I couldn't, because my foot hurt, right? So it was just, and I felt nauseous from it. And so it ruined all of my routines that I had, like it's something that I'm working with. I actually, like, don't worry about the whole medication thing. Like I am talking, I have a psychiatrist that I talk to. We're currently working on things, and we're going to be switching up the medication, and like that should help in a different degree. So, but that's personal shit. You guys don't need to worry about that. It's totally fine. Also, coincidentally, just not to circle back to the ADHD thing, it's very funny. When I got diagnosed with ADHD, I started taking Adderall. Funnily enough, I stopped playing World of Warcraft, and I don't know if the two are related to each other. I also, once I started taking Adderall and like I actually got diagnosed, I started actually getting shit done in my life. Pretty soon after my Adderall my ADHD diagnosis, I started my YouTube channel. You know, it's not unrelated. It's not unrelated. No, I mean that's the thing. That's the thing. It's and again, guys, like I'm not saying that like you take a medication and it's a magic fix. I wasn't even aware of the fact that I had ADHD. I wasn't even aware of it. I didn't know. I thought maybe, but when I got tested and diagnosed, and then I had a therapist or a psychiatrist that was going to work through like a lot of the things that I could do to try to address it, like identifying things about it, you know, and take a medication for it. It helped a lot. It did help. You know, all of it is helpful, but you got to try. And the only problem that I'm running into nowadays is that I've built up a tolerance to Adderall just because I've been taking it for like 10 years, which is why I'm going to be changing over to Astaris when that comes out later this year. Whenever that happens, that's what I'll be doing, but that's just a medication thing. The rest of it comes down to absolute discipline, making sure that you are aware of the things, at least aware. Like, again, at the end of the day, like, there's no part of your brain that has ADHD or whatever written on it. It's just who you are. And at the end of the day, you can only do what you can with who you are. You are you, and you can only change you to a certain degree. So you got to figure out how to work with you, understand yourself so you can be the best version of yourself. You know what I mean? That's the goal. That is the absolute goal. And no matter what, you know, you got you. You're the only one you got. Okay, cool. Have a lovely evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me. You are awesome. Thanks for being a part of this channel. Take care of yourself. And take care of each other. Have a good night. Bye, guys.